Okay then. So, last we left off, everybody, we were just about ready to enter into our fair bit of downtime. There was a request for 5 days worth of uh, research and development time. And yeah, I think we are going to pick ourselves up by doing a touch of what you want to accomplish for these 5 days, and we'll probably go with what I would assume to be the quickest of you is Opicrio.
Well, that's a lie. Um, actually, no, I think I can get it done quick. So, if I have everyone's help, I can get both of the flying brooms done in 5 days. So that's Arendir, Zyman, and Lilith.
What about me? Can't I give a hand?
Yes, I will need somebody to hold the broom while we throw magic at it. It might get hot. If you drop it, you buy it.
It's fair.
But I did buy one. I bought the pickaxe.
Uh huh. So yes, that would probably be spanning over all 5 days, 8 hours a day, kind of thing. The rest of the day is yours. Do with it as you wish. Um, Aside from that, Opie needs to call his mommy. Um, so he would probably reserve a spell slot for sending to his mommy
Okay.
just to check in. Hi, mom.
Your mother is doing well. Is at one point certainly, like, oh my, have you seen the sun? It's back. It's
Right? I should have called you when it went away. We were a little busy. Like, I thought we were going to do something about it, but I guess it just came back on its own, which is kind of cool.
So I'm guessing this is one night's worth of just sending back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Chit chat with my mom. Just standard update. How's dad? All that shit. If
Your
he's
par-
good, that's fine. That's all I need to know.
your parents are still alive. They miss and love you.
Oh. So the one thing I will not be doing during the 5 days is sending to Zedric the Black. I'm going to save it.
Make him think he's safe.
Yes.
You're never quite
Um,
safe from Waluigi.
the only other thing, and this might be, I don't know if somebody else wants to take this beat, is researching the desert and the desert keep where we're heading, which used to be a city, I guess.
Yeah. Uh, you can either helm that, and you could probably get yourself. Well, how are you going about your research? We'll just kind of cliff notes
I
our way through this.
I would probably talk to the Latressa that has access to the best libraries. Failing that, if I don't think I could find all the best information about it, I would try and tap Asaka and fill him in that we're not going to Rune right away. We may go eventually, but not right away.
Okay, it's not a priority or it's not a current priority, but it's still on the docket. Um, well, Adele will be able to get you at least as his guest into the Citizens Library. So let's see. You are a Maniftal style wizard here, so I'm
With the
going.
research rate.
Yeah, I know. That's why I will. Why not? For what little. Adele may not be able to help you too much in the research aspect of it, but he is certainly able to get a little bit of assistance here and there to help you. So go ahead and make a proficient intelligence check, and we will have you roll that with advantage for the little bits of help that Adele can get for you.
Awesome. I'm proficient in intelligence for a save. Can I just throw that?
Oh, yeah, that works.
Yeah, figured same number.
Okay, well,
Take that advantage.
yeah. We're starting off this week off strong, ain't we? Okay, so what's the information that you're looking for?
Anything pertaining to a a lost city in the area of the Desert Keep, or rumors of a lost city in the area of the Desert Keep, because I know it's not the Desert Keep where we're going. It's a lost city near the Desert Keep, right?
Yeah, it's near the Desert Keep where this was uh, reported to be.
So that would probably be my target. I would, if I can't find anything right away, I would go into cultures of the area, any lore or mythology around the area, see if I can get any mentions
Uh, of the target area or local?
of the target area,
Okay.
um, including the Desert Keep if needed, just because the Desert Keep at least there's a memory, living memory of that versus non-existent memory.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Desert Keep. As you gain a little bit of insight to the fact of where this city, the world this city came from. That apparently the Desert Keep was largely considered the capital of the world, or the largest city, the most that had the most influence. Um, in the annotations there, it's also said that there was a city by the name of Atropos that rivaled it, whereas the Desert Keep was known as the Golden City, the city of the Golden Child, in reference to Anzu. The 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 flip side of that was Atropos, the city of night, the city of the dead. Um, there was a lot of talk. There's notes about how there was a city of people who were very strong mentally. Uh, can't remember off the top of my head what it was called, but it was more commonly referred to as the city of the mind. And the exact location was not is not known to you here. There's actually only a little bit of information, and not a whole lot of it pertains to this lost city. Uh,
Gotcha.
there there is some no, there is some relatively recent history in regards to the area, that there was a large well there was an incident recently, according to these notes here, where the Desert Keep's armies amassed and went on a self-proclaimed holy crusade against the blight of death, where this army spread out and was extinguishing all signs of of undeath that they could get their hands on. They're to scourge the lands, where they had rolled through, according to this, a city in the south, held in perpetual night and ruled by the dead, claiming leadership of an individual known as Cayman Estelle, the vampire lord. the this crusade came through and was largely successful unto a point where they used their superior numbers and talent to round up all of the basically the major vampiric bloodlines and families and prominent vampires and put them on the central island for this vampire city, Monaco. And we're essentially going to put the torch to the lot of them and expunge the blight of undeath. Uh, there's not much in the records here, but it turns out that the whole of the Desert Keep's forces lost their lives in this incident, which caused and the basically the ruling body, which was a small council in the Desert Keep, was exposed to have just taken this unilateral action for themselves. The Desert Keep was greatly destabilized, and people were fleeing it, and just the whole city was basically shamed, ridiculed, and was starting to come apart at the seams as the royal family started vying for power. Until that says that Anzu himself ended up showing in the city after it was largely abandoned, uh, and began a restoration of the city with the recently recovered prince, uh, a boy named Nearly. The city was, according to the last few pages of this research, was beginning to see a recovery and to distance itself from the stain of the corrupt merchant princes. They had redubbed the city sanctuary, and that's pretty much where you get. There's some there's some other scattered things that, like, they were going to see about taking scouting parties to find the lost city, to try and add some of that strength or gain wisdom if there was any left behind.
And that was from the Desert Keep people trying to lead scouting parties for the Lost City?
Yes, once they had rebranded essentially their entire city to sanctuary, they tried to find wise men and whatnot. And the last here is that there's potential expeditions going out from sanctuary.
Okay.
Looks like these were pinned. These were penned roughly about the time that you had you would estimate the convergence to have happened, somewhere within days, because there's no talk about the skies going dark or anything like that in these notes.
Gotcha. In those notes, this might be the last one. In those notes that they're saying that they were going to look for the Lost City, did they have any suspected locations?
Um, there from what you gather from the from how they were penned, it seemed like there wasn't just a shot in the dark. So they might have some way of either finding the city, or they have a general location. It doesn't seem like they're like, oh well, we're gonna go and try and find the lost city, wherever that is. But they were talking about leading expeditions to it.
Gotcha, but their notes or my notes on them wouldn't contain what their theoretical locations and directions or
No,
longitude latitude might be. Okay.
Yeah, no. No, this from what you were reading here, it was probably just like a scouting report on activity around Sanctuary.
Gotcha. All right. I would probably, I don't doubt, or I would say I would probably involve Rawl in that research, just so he's aware as I'm doing it, and I would share with the rest of the party, hey, we could try it, like it, we can maybe get there on luck alone, but we could also go to the Desert Keep maybe, and see if we can't um, take their research or at least take their notes.
Render will be on board for this.
Well, for what it's worth, if they were looking for it and had some information, I think it's the first stop.
True. It's better than the no information we currently have. It's not true we have lots of information, just, not all of it immediately useful.
Yeah.
And oh god, how much? Okay, last thing, and I am totally okay with not actually having to fight it out. And if you just want to roleplay, here's the way I want it to go. I would like to fight with Rawl in the arena as T-Rex. Because
Zomagre
I'm
T-Rex.
because I'm reading him the way I am, I will make it a very, very good fight. But ultimately, Opie will throw the fight because the conditions are break my concentration or uh, end the spell effect through hit point loss. And that is how he would win.
You see, here's the thing, though. How confident are you about being able to throw the match without making it seem like you're doing so?
Uh, See, and that's rough. Because it's a T-Rex, it's not very charismatic or intelligent. So, I don't know. If we have to roll it out later, I'm fine with that. I don't know if you want to spend back on track game session about it.
No, I'm also looking up uh, the dinosaurs here.
I think if it's one-on-one T-Rex versus Raw, I don't think it's a fair fight.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's kind of rough. They got a +10 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a good chance of hitting and doing some good damage.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Rawl just needs to hit you hard enough.
Yep. So yeah, I would say it's up to you.
Yeah,
I don't know that Opie would have the fortitude of mind while in the form of that monster to reliably act it out or reliably throw the match at all.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think throwing the match is directly an option, especially how Rawl seems to be adept at picking out intent.
True.
So
Or
you
being able
know,
to read your mind.
I mean, if I can't pull any of that off, and I would say I haven't really been a dinosaur long enough to know. Um, I would say if I forget to be nice boy at all because I'm a dinosaur, I'm totally fine with him either knocking me out or me just chomping on him. Whatever you want.
yeah. You know what? We might quick roll that one out later.
I'm down for that.
Just because I'd be interested. Regardless of how it is, Rawl is thrilled to be doing that. So honestly, win or lose, he's he's fine.
Right? What high mobility rogue or barbarian wouldn't want to fight a fucking T-Rex one-on-one?
Oh God, yeah, just
I'm down.
yeah, exactly. But no, this fight is his. I was promised a dinosaur fight. I'm getting my dinosaur fight.
Hey, Opie, you could turn me into the dinosaur.
No, I think I actually do it better. And it's not tactically, it's I have advantage on Constitution saves.
True.
Yeah, but Kess wouldn't have to make Constitution saves.
Also true. It's up to him, whatever Raw wants.
No, he wants
I
to
can make it harder.
he wants to fight Opiosaurus. He was promised Opiosaurus.
Fair enough. I fuck up the polymorph so bad that it's the Tyrannosaurus body with a giant-sized Opie head.
Oh
and
God!
Opie vocal cords, and it screams, "Hi, I'm Opie," but in Tyrannosaurus from Jurassic Park pitch and tone.
Opie!
But you have to have Opie arms, though, too, still. But they're
No.
short and stubby. Human
No.
arms.
No, just the Opie head. It's basically like reskinning the T-Rex head, just with Opie face paint and a tuft of silver hair. So it's still T-Rex. It's still T-Rex, but it's got green eyes and it's got that painted on like Joker grin. It's all Opie color.
I just gave Scotty something to do.
Yeah. Opiosaurus, go. That is terrifying, and I don't know if I actually want to see that.
I do.
But yeah, that
I'll second that.
with that information, that fight, and talking to my mommy and crafting brooms, holy crap, I had a busy 5 days.
Indeed, you did. Did you have any BS shopping you wanted to do?
No BS shopping, no. I'm going to leave Journey equipment and stuff like that to other people,
Okay.
considering I am booked.
All right. Next, why not? Arendir.
Yep.
You got 5 days, and part of each day is taken up by time in the broom lab. So, you have anything else you want to do with that time?
Currently, no. I can't think of anything really.
All right. So you're just
I will
sleeping
I'll
in, I
hang out
guess.
with Opie, pretty much. I'll go follow Opie around.
Okay. So, Kess, moving on to you.
Aye.
So, what does the mighty dwarf want to do with his 5 days? Because, hey, guess what? You don't have time in the factory.
I will peruse around the town, enjoy its splendors, since we'll be leaving here soon. I will go ahead and grab a couple drinks at the pub throughout, each day.
We're not
Something
gonna
to
be.
eat.
We're gonna be leaving here soon. So what he really means is like 5 sandwiches a day.
Pretty much.
I will need to pick up some javelins, because I used the last of mine in the arena.
You had like 5?
I had 4, but I used them throughout the fights.
Well, yeah, javelins you pick up after the fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of stout lawn darts.
Okay, well in that case then,
Yeah, you have 4. I mean, you can get more, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're not expended until basically you either go and pick them out of a corpse or that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll just peruse around, see if anything strikes my fancy, but I highly doubt there is going to be anything.
Yeah.
Maybe anything that'll increase my strength or AC that pops up.
Maybe not that you're able to afford, but go ahead and give me a check your investigation. Why not?
Investigation.
Investigation. Dude, fucking sandwiches, man. The shawarma in here. The guy know.
Quinn, you made JR cry.
I'm okay with that. Surprisingly enough. There's only a couple of babies that I wouldn't make cry, and none of them have anything to do with Junior over here. Okay, you know what? Why not?
So as we were saying about the shawarma on my critic
just
fail.
freaking shawarma, man. It's delicious. You probably end up dropping an extra 10 gold in meaningless little trinkets. It's like, ooh, hey, this one's shiny. Oh, this one's neat. So you probably have 10 gold in just like rings.
Ooh, fancy dwarf. So,
A Mr. T style necklace.
here's a question. I know this kind of thing takes extended downtime and whatnot. And maybe as an idea, just to help, like strength training, where you actually did start working on strength training. Because I know you can, over time, like, buy a level, essentially, or train up a skill, or...
Yes, skill training is a thing.
But with how would I do strength training?
Not so well. I mean, here's the thing: feat training, essentially, feat or skill training you can do. So if you do something to try and train into a feat, it takes an extended amount of time, but you could learn a feat, train up a skill.
Like, you probably wouldn't get it now, but if we have additional downtimes in the future, which is totally possible. I mean, we are the players. We drive the storyline. If we need downtimes, we can take it.
This
Yeah,
is
sure.
true. You are not in
So,
any
like-
kind of hurry.
I've got
So,
lots
like,
of research to do. I'm all game for lots of downtime.
So like weapon expertise or something like that would also give me like a stat point.
Yeah, you'd have to basically describe how you're doing it, the time allocated, and where you're doing it, and it might it might take some money.
Which is fine. I've got 107 platinum right now. So, okay. Well, I'll have to look into that and for a feat that I want to train into. My other thing I was going to say for downtime would be like hit the arena for one-on-ones, but we wouldn't be able to roll that out.
No, I wouldn't roll that directly out, but if you want to spend some time, in little skirmishes, that's fine.
Little bouts. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Hit the pub up, hit food up, and test out my new battle prowess.
Okay. So one thing that you get to find out at that point, you have made the man in the bazaar very happy with your regular patronage. You've you end up even learning his name. He's a man who came from the Desert Keep right when the troubles started. Apparently there was some issues that the noble houses got themselves into, and
So
kind of caused
quarantine.
to cause some trouble for the people. And once he saw the armies marching and heard rumors of what that is, because he's kind of like a bartender in a way, but he kind of
Just
saw
meat
he kind
tender.
of saw yeah, he's a meat tender. he kind of saw the writing on the wall when the armies were marching out, and he had a real bad feeling, so he ducked out before all the shit went down, because apparently their Desert Keep military got fucked over. Um, so he booked it to this small ups this town that he'd been hearing of, and thought he might be able to set up shop there. So he moved. So he basically moved to Ether before all the shit hit the fan there. The man is named as Enos Enver, and yeah, he's got deep he's a very desert dwelling individual, deeply tanned skin, brown eyes, just kind of hair kept kind of short, wears loose flowing white gray robes, and yeah, he moved here, and he's this is your shawarma guy. You have Enos the shawarma guy.
I'll keep that in mind, and I will let Opie know that I have the shawarma guy, our sandwich king, is actually from where we're heading, and we may want to pick his brain before we leave, and get a sandwich before we leave, of course, too.
Of course. So the little side note to that, Opie, is that at least this guy has confirmed what your reports have kind of been going off in a lighter sense.
Gotcha. Like, I might take a break for a sandwich, go say hi, and just kind of reconfirm everything, and ask him if he knows of any lost cities. I'm sure he'll say.
He's heard rumors of it. There's been many an adventurer who's gone off to see what has become of it, uh, if it even existed. He's never gone out personally because he liked it right where he was at. He's a shopkeeper. He's not, he's a cook, a chef. He doesn't dirty his hands with his own blood. So yeah, good job, Kess. You've got a contact in the city who's very happy to sell you delicious, delicious foods.
Mm, meat.
Still a better love story than Twilight. Um, so that leaves us with Zyman.
Okay. As we left off in the forums, I was going to flag down a barmaid to ask about the hot spots around town to have a romantic night out.
Well, there are several trains.
Trains are not romantic.
Well, to be fair, there are rumors of trains that before this whole whatever happened. Uh, there were there was something that was called the Arbor Way uh, being built. Uh, Obviously, the uh, what you've come to know as the Convergence happening has kind of put a kibosh on that. But there was a station that had the had was essentially this grand train that was being made, and made from specifically grown trees. It's kind of this organic thing that the king was working on. So there's a random ass tidbit because fucking train. Um, but yeah, there are several parks. Some in the citizens, some in the civilians. There is in the lower right hand down here, there is a specially made biome that has a deeply tropical and like jungle area that houses these really interesting looking creatures that are the barkeep on duty mentions they're kind of like little like smaller versions of halflings or gnomes, but they're like kind of like Ganazi in a way that they're definitely attuned with fire with like fire elemental properties.
Hmm.
There's also these like bipedal lion type creatures have that are in the hills in this biome. But otherwise, there's a lot of spices. There's a lot of like jungle type atmosphere, which is contained within this area, which is odd considering their own terrain. There is that. There, up near the main temple, there is the Fairy Dome, which is this large park that's got just little flying winged things all over the place. And it's also part petting zoo because you can feed them and all that goodness. And on occasion, it's been the owner has been known to adopt one or two out after a little bit. And this section right over here on the left hand is is an island that they called Mana, which is run by a vampire named Cayman as an amusement park.
Ooh. Can almost guarantee she's never been to an amusement park.
I can pretty much guarantee that you've never been to an amusement park.
I was gonna say, has anybody been to an amusement park in our party? Probably.
It's basically what you'll come to as
Opie's been to one. It's called Everyone's Mine.
I was about to say, Opie is the amusement park.
well, that sounds a little prostitute-y, but sure, why not? But yeah, it's just questioning amusement park. What the breakdown will get. There's attractions, there's rides, there's a hotel there. It's it's like a Disneyland type thing, but less soul crushing and more blood sippy sip. I guess I don't know.
I kind of think she'd be okay with that.
It is kind of like Tim Burton's Disneyland.
That would
Is what
be
it's
awesome and something I would want to see.
something honestly I would love to see in real life, but whatever.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'd love to see it.
Hmm. But yeah, that's essentially what Mana is described as. Tim Burton's Disneyland. I like that description. We're going with that.
You guys know that they do Nightmare Before Christmas, like October through January.
I love that.
Yeah, I took the girls to it not this last year, but 2 Halloweens ago. We actually went and did the trick or treating, where you stay. They keep the park open for 2 hours later or 3 hours later or whatever, and you can actually go trick or treating, and they have a villains parade with, and then also with Nightmare Before Christmas too.
Nice.
It's pretty fun. So it's achievable. You can do it. Tim Burton's Disneyland exists.
Nice.
Well, given that information, things that stuck out to me is the fairies, the jungle, and the amusement park. So over the 5 days, I need to treat the lady to exciting, interesting thingies.
Okay. And so you do.
And I need to squeeze in some research time wherever possible because I've got 3 books I gotta read.
I think we already covered how much research time you were going to get towards one of those.
Yeah, 10. I thought it was.
Yeah, you got 10 out of 40 hours, and you were doing what? History? Or no, you said religion.
Yes, religion first.
Okay. So yeah, that was certainly a thing that you had gone off to do. Okay, all right, that is there. So pleasing your girl ain't exactly what we would call a cheap endeavor.
I figured.
You're probably ditching out a good 300 gold over the course of this 5 days. Because she wants to stay in a really nice hotel room on the island. You know, she wants to be wined and dined. And she definitely wants some kind of like overstuffed bat plushie that you're pretty sure is going to go on a shelf somewhere and not be looked at, but she wanted it at the time.
This is fine.
And
Good.
more so, she wanted to see you win it. So, you know.
An acceptable sacrifice.
Yeah, so you end up ditching out 300 gold, but you have a good few days when you're not, you know, slaving away in the magic mine.
Does she seem happy?
She seems amused by a lot of the things here. The fairies kind of caught her attention, and she spent some. She ended up spending quite a bit of time where you were away, in that area.
Okay.
But she seems generally contented.
Good.
So, good job. Simon kind of relearned how to actually treat his girlfriend. Okay.
Fade to black.
Yeah, I'm not going into that. No, I just checked Discord, and dear God, I need to save the Captain America meme. That is flips chair over, sits down. So you rolled a 1. That's amazing. uh, that is delightful. Okay. So your time goes by pretty decently. Yeah. Aside from fighting the Opisaurus and kind of checking in every once in a while with Opie about the research. At the end of this, Rawl has been spending a lot of time with the Latressa clan, trying to get some just learning about the world that he came from, and kind of comparing it to the world that he kind of entered out into, and is basically picking their brains for all kinds of stuff. But the 5 days are up, and you reconvene. You have 2 quote unquote brooms. You have a post digger and a garden hoe, was it?
I believe it was a push broom and
push
a post
broom.
whore.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So there you go. I believe they had assigned the push broom to Sir Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That means Kess gets a post whore.
Yep. Because it's a funny word to say.
Yep.
Alright, and that's because Opie can fly on his own, and I think a reindeer can become a bird at this point.
I think he's really close.
I think it's, was it level 9?
Actually, at 8.
Oh, so you can bird it now.
Yeah, we can fly. We can fly places actually.
Fly like a bird, you can fly away.
Lol.
It's not where my mind went, but sure, let's go with that.
Exactly. And neither did mine.
Yeah, you can become the giant eagle.
Exactly.
Fucking
Congratulations.
Freedom Saurus.
Freedom Saurus. Why do I get the image of Rendir painted up like a goddamn monster truck?
Hilarious.
So, you are all together and ready to go about as you will.
All right. Do we have a? No, we don't have a cart. We come in with a cart.
No. You
Been so
were
long.
you were yeah, I know it's been a few weeks. You were actually teleported to the edge of the forest here by Indelicio.
That's right.
He teleported you as close as he felt that would have been diplomatically viable. And then you just kind of strolled in.
Hmm.
We did have a Timothy, though. Are we leaving him?
You do have a
Yeah.
Timothy.
Oh yeah. Sorry. One more thing. I will probably show Rawl the connection with Timothy and see if he can't fill it out and establish it himself as well.
Rawl has been, perfectly fine helping you with that connection. He doesn't want to go noodling around in there.
Gotcha.
Rawl is like, okay, this one is broken away from the hive. It's not a bad one, but just in general, the Formians have been just a bad thing in his mind for too long, and he's just like, I will accept its presence. I will not attack it. Timothy is your pet, but he is your pet, and I don't really want to do too much with it.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, we can grab Timothy. Are we walking? Should we get horses? What do you guys think?
A render can always turn into something.
I mean, to be fair, each one of his wild shapes will at this point last 8 hours.
He gets an hour per.
It's an hour a level.
Yep.
Not to mention, depending on the transform, I can cover more ground. Eagle.
Cool. So, alright, we've got 2 brooms, a guy that can turn into an eagle. How long does fly last? I don't think it lasts more than an hour. Oh wait, I'm a gnome. Carry me.
Granted, I gotta think of this. Logically, we also have Timothy, which means I'd have to carry that out.
Yeah. See, now he's become problematic.
See, he was fine until all of you decided to be able to fly.
Right?
Cast fly on him.
Wait,
Are you trying to
can a
turn?
broom... hold on. How heavy is a 4-man and how much can a broom hold?
I think a broom can hold like 400 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah, Render, your mom rides one all the time.
Woof. That's rough, bud. Come on, man.
Yeah. Fly lasts up to 10 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that's
son.
not
I
a-
had to.
Yeah.
Fly's not really a long-term option then, but so 400 pounds. How much does a fly?
Yeah, but dude, just imagine the people's face seeing a flying ant.
I think you'd have to roll attack rolls. It's like, holy shit, they can fly.
We're under attack.
Yeah,
From the air this time.
I mean, holy crap, Formians. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. Uh, to try and carry Kess and it, I wouldn't say the broom could carry both. and you would kind of need someone.
Well, I
Yeah,
think the best way to go
Timothy's
about
not gonna Timothy's not gonna fly under the effects of a broom because it's not smart enough to be able to manipulate it.
Hey, I got the Arender has a suggestion due to his large amount of wisdom that Opie rides on Arendir with Timothy being carried so that he can keep Timothy in check, rather than freaking the fuck out that he's being carried by a giant eagle. And the other three can ride on brooms.
Hey, wait a minute. I got an idea.
Well, you have two brooms.
Yes, I understand this, but it said 400 pounds. I doubt Simon and Rawl weigh 400 pounds even together. And if they do, oh, that works.
Simon's girlfriend.
Simon is not riding with Rawl.
Which means, Cass, congratulations, you have Rawl.
No, hold on.
Yeah, we got Simon's group.
I've got a great idea. Druid cast Summon Fae, and then it'll summon pixies, and then it transforms us all into it polymorphs us all into
We are
eagles.
not doing that shit.
And Druid does not have that current spell, so you're sad about you're short of luck.
It's only a level 3 spell.
So we don't really have the math right now. We're short a few brooms and perhaps a extra planar space to shove a giant ant monster. So that means we're walking.
Well, I mean, we have the brooms and we have the eagle, and
Okay.
if we need one, we can have another eagle because Opie can cast polymorph.
True.
For 1 second, I got an idea.
Well, isn't that an hour though?
Hey, wait.
Yeah, it's only an hour.
Render has another.
Go ahead.
The spell is also for up to an hour. Is conjure animal.
Well, animals don't make us fly.
However, if I can conjure multiple giant eagles, okay,
So what's the laden capacity of a sparrow?
I don't
One
know.
coconut.
It's
I don't
not.
know if that works, man. The ant's weird.
basically what I can do is I can actually conjure 2 beasts of challenge rating 1 or lower, or 4 of a half rating.
Well, giant eagle is higher than that, I'm pretty
Challenge
sure.
rating 1.
I'm looking at. I'm looking for giant eagle. Giant elk. Giant
I already
eagle
have
is a
the
CR. It is a CR1. It has a 16 strength.
Pretty good strength.
I'm just saying, it's only a level 3 spell slot, and I'm sure that I can recover it at some point.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
but it's
I mean,
also an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Yes.
long-term travel, you'd probably have to burn level 4s, and that gets us 4 or 5 hours worth of travel. Flying, which is pretty good.
Not to mention that it would technically cover more ground, because obviously flying would be faster.
You wouldn't have to deal with terrain. True.
So,
No turn.
so how long would the travel take if we traveled for 4 or 5 hours a day, and he used up all his spells of, what, 3rd and higher?
Yes, 3rd and higher up.
Yes, 3rd and higher to summon beasts, giant eagles, to carry, like, team carry the ant if they have to. Like, I'll blindfold Timothy, we'll strap him in a harness, and pray he doesn't fall out.
Well, how heavy is the ant?
I mean,
Uh,
they're horse-sized,
I can only.
so...
yeah, I mean, what's the average weight of a horse?
Ugh,
Couple 100 pounds, like 300-400 pounds.
at least. That might not even be possible with the eagle, depending on what the weight is.
That's why I
The
said
average
maybe.
horse mass is, for an adult horse, is 840 to 2,200 pounds. And that's talking your big horse.
So here's the
Clydesdale.
test. Cass, try and lift him.
I was able to.
Oh
I
god.
grappled them.
True. He was
Well, yeah,
flying.
you grappled him. That's not carrying it.
True, I
But-
grappled and lifted it up, but but
A Fortman might be a little bit lighter than a horse. Would you say he's about donkey weight? Because donkey weight, adult-wise, you're looking about anywhere from like maxes out at about 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I would say donkey is more apt for that. So we'll say it's like a mid-sized donkey as far as weight goes.
what about the
I'm
would the
gonna assume
pterodactyl
he's
thing be
just
an option?
800 pounds.
What did what under what in the who now?
Me doing polymorph, I don't have enough spell slots of that level or higher to really make significant travel in a group.
The only other thing I
176.
can do is we could do land travel, and I could get us a bunch of fucking like half challenge creatures.
Sure.
And oh, whatever.
Let's see. You compare your carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15.
Oh, I just looked that up. If you're trying to calculate out the eagle's carry weight, it's like 480.
480. Okay.
So 5 times 15 for my carry weight, but
No, your strength score, not their multiplier, or not your modifier.
oh, then
So,
20.
All right. Well, that is. You're also that's their unencumbered weight would be like 460. And what did you say donkeys generally were?
topped out, like heaviest, usually around 1,000 pounds.
Hey, question. Actually, pretty good one. If certain feats or perks or whatever, if I get polymorph, do those go away or do those stay?
Depends.
If it's a mental thing, probably goes away. If it's like a physical or innate spiritual thing, it probably hangs out.
My carry capacity, including maximum lift, maximum load, and maximum lift, is doubled. And I have advantage on strength checks made to push, pull, lift, or break objects.
Okay.
That's a problem. We don't have a good way of turning you into something that flies and can carry a heavy amount of things for a long, long time.
Yeah. What you're having a problem with is duration. I mean, short-term travel, you guys have got covered. Long-term, because not everybody has a broom that they can just sit on and go coasting.
At this point, I say it's a brand new world. Until we get more brooms, let's hoof it and see some of it.
We could do that. I mean, I could always just give us riding horses. They're only a freaking quarter challenge rating,
Gotcha.
and they
I
have
was just
15
thinking
strength, so they can carry just about anybody.
I was just thinking if we polymorphed me into the biggest thing that we could, and if Zymon's girlfriend could do the same thing throughout, we can get multiple castings, but then we'd have to rest by the time then we'd actually be at a disadvantage if something did happen.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of spell energy into,
One thing.
travel.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh, I can carry a lot of shit.
Yeah, and again, polymorph is a fourth level spell that lasts an hour.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like little burst, little burst. The eagles are good, because hey, an hour flight is for a CR1. You can summon multiples of them, so it's low spell impact generally. It's just at that point you'd probably not be, if you're going that route, you're probably not able to carry Timothy with you.
Alright, so what we need to do is get a bunch of breadcrumbs and a lot of string and go out to the water. Catch a bunch of seagulls and then attach them to Timothy.
It's not a bad idea.
Oh, what does an aneurysm feel like again?
Remember,
Oh my
Bark.
god, it's Up the D&D movie. You're the old man.
No,
Oh.
exchange.
Aaron's the punky Asian kid. Um,
Who's the dog?
yeah. Oh, Sophie.
Hi, I'm Doug. No, I was, well, yeah, it's kind of Up and James and the Giant Peach. Because that's what they do. They do the seagulls with the rope. But remember, my intelligence modifier is 0 and my wisdom is 1. Just so you know. So some of these ideas are in character.
Remember, a 0 modifier means you are of average intelligence.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm like in real life, I'd say I'm of average intelligence, and I kind of want to try the seagull thing. How many seagulls would it take to lift me? Many.
You or Opie?
Me.
Far, far too many. Because then you have to coordinate them.
Hold on, let me see. Do I have the dexterity to throw a rope around a seagull?
Oh God, no.
No, it's a
That and
dexterity save. Sorry.
playing with seagulls
No.
like that, you're just gonna get covered in shit.
Yeah, you are.
Shitty
Like
situation.
you are gonna ruin several ponchos, and that's after your first attempt, which you forgot to bring a poncho. So
All right, so here we go. I got an idea. We shove the broom up Timothy's ass. Then he flies.
wow, no. So
That
we're walking. So we're
kind of
walking,
seems like that.
and we're going to alternate between horses summoned by Arendir and walking.
Well,
Because he's got a good amount of spell power, and you know, just so we don't tap all of it up, we can probably still travel for 8 hours a day, but cover like the distance and another half of it if we're using horses and riding them to death.
Well, we could also look and see how much a wagon is. They were, I think it was like a couple silver last time.
no, it was more than a couple silver.
We had a really nice wagon. Had bear skin rugs and everything.
We did.
That's
Oh.
unbearable. By the
No,
way,
the horse thing doesn't necessarily work. We'll need longer term horses because we got too many people.
Well, here's something that you do have 2 brooms. You do have if you're hoofing it, you have got 2 brooms and a Timothy.
True.
and I also have
So
proficiency in land vehicles.
okay, you've got the ability to do that. You could hook Timothy up to a cart because Timothy, being a Formian, is a chunky boy and has got a lot of pulling and carrying power. If you got a cart, you probably wouldn't need a draft animal because you have an ant critter.
Just need to get a bunch of sugar cubes and hook them to string, and yeah.
Not
That
not even that, because as you know, Timothy doesn't eat.
True. Okay, so
does he?
Simon or Kess are covered. I'm covered with Timothy in a cart, which I will be buying here in a moment. Arendir can cast conjure woodland creatures, beasts, something.
Cinderella.
And he's got a horse for himself and a horse for Lilith. I think that's everyone.
Yeah, or you
Yeah.
can just get a carriage, hook Timothy to it, and you guys between
At least
that and the broom, you're travel worthy.
Opie still got his treasure chest saddle.
I don't know if I ever implemented that.
You did.
Rawl
That's
did.
awesome.
I remember Rawl helping you with that.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, you rode in it at least once.
It's true.
You know, you should just, ride into a town, close the chest over your head a little bit, and then when someone goes to open it, be like, "Hi, I'm Opie."
And then punch him in the dick and run away. As all treasure chest gnomes must.
Well,
It
you're
wasn't a
not
mimic.
wrong.
It was an Opie.
Like, there's no trap more insidious than the treasure chest gnome. But
God.
all right, how much is a carriage then?
Okay. Because that will solve all your problems. I'm just going to tell you right now, between shopping that around. Because a Formian, I mean, it's a giant ant. If the carrying capacity of an ant is impressive, imagine one the size of a horse.
Yeah.
True.
You're not
Can
even going to need
carry a
two.
bus.
You pretty much could. I would imagine. I would have to look up stats and everything, but yeah, freaking quadruped, man. And then it's an ant.
So who's gonna ride my post tour, and I'll pilot the vehicle.
So I think a full carriage is 100 gold.
Yes, a carriage is in fact 100 gold.
I'll throw
Yep.
I'll throw down.
Cool.
Get a keg of beer with it.
Sweet.
Drink and
I'll throw
drive.
5 plat to it, which gives us 50 gold.
I'll throw 7 plat for whatever else we need. So
So
5
You can
for
get you can get like the camping equipment that you would need, and why not? The fact is that Kess, between talking with Enos and a couple of people that he knows from that desert, they were able to you were able to gather the basically desert attire for everybody.
hope he buys a bunch of sunscreen and then he's wearing way too much all the time.
What smells like cocoa butter?
what the hell is cocoa butter?
Delightful is what it is.
So yeah, congratulations, Kess. You know a guy who knows about desert travel. So all the supplies that you need for it are kind of you're directed to, and you guys
Gotcha.
spend your money. You have a carriage that is
So how much
equipped.
does it come
That
up
is
to?
equipped. Well, you said you were throwing.
7 plat, so that's 100.
You were throwing
20.
we were throwing 70 platinum at it. He was Opie was throwing 50, so that's what you get. And there is they also include a set of wheels that you can basically attach once you start getting into the sand. That will help you in that particular movement.
Yay, pile tires.
Nice.
So yes, congratulations, your connections have paid off. A week well spent eating shawarma.
Y'all guys want to get any more of these before we go?
With what we provided them, could they also provide us with the appropriate, not just the appropriate barding, but a little something flourish for Timothy?
Define flourish.
I think he needs a battle standard and some kind of cool headband and maybe a shield.
A shield?
No, he doesn't need a shield. Like a cattle catcher.
If you
maybe.
want a
Something to,
shield,
like, kick
I
fat
still
people
have
over.
mine.
Truth.
We gotta
I
give
have
him a
my old
javelin
one.
then too.
Pretty
Give him
sure he's not able to use weaponry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not either.
But they can rig up something so where you can stick a flag in his back, like in a holster on his back.
Nice.
You'd still have to get yourself a flag of some variety, but
All right. Magically, if this idea had come to me earlier, can I have it commissioned over the 5 days? It's a big black flag with a bright silver raven on it.
sure, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, I'm good. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right.
Our color scheme is now black and silver. I'm okay with this.
Yep. You're deciding to keep on with the whole Silver Ravens deal. All right.
The Raven is Opie's mark. He's wearing a little pendant that has a silver raven.
There you go. The gnome in chief has decreed this. So you're getting everything set up and good to go, and yeah, basically you're at the gate, and Lilith will walk over to Zyman, give you a kiss on the cheek, and say, "Have fun in the sand."
And say what?
And say, "Have fun in the sand."
She not coming?
She has absolutely no desire to go walking around in the desert.
Don't you want to build a sandman?
She's also learned to ignore Kess.
This is good. This is good.
Reindeer will actually say goodbye like a normal human being. Well, individual.
She will
Yeah.
give you a nod and, wish you well.
So goodbye as an elf is a flip of the hair at each other. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty much Valley Girl behavior. It's fine.
Will
Opie
you be
would
here
wave.
when we return?
She is staying in town.
Okay.
This was also she mentions basically that she managed to save a little bit from your budget. That
You get
seems
on
like
this
it
for
seems.
money.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a little extravagant at the time. You didn't realize that you were just like you were so thrilled to have her back. She was just asking for little bits of money for little things, and you were just kind of handing it over. So she seems to have enough of of a little stash, where she thinks that she can get herself along while you're off being dirty adventurers in the desert.
Well, this is fair.
The sands are no place for a lady such as her. But hearing that you're going out to this sanctuary place, she does remind you that that uh, she wouldn't mind if you came back with something cultural from there.
I will see what can be found.
Bring your girlfriend something back, or else bad times.
Bringing back another girlfriend for your girlfriend.
Hmm, maybe.
She said something cultural, so if it's, the still bleeding head of somebody, that counts.
Yeah, maybe. But she wants a souvenir from someplace. So you set off through the forest path, through through the open fields. Now, it takes a little getting used to, but you're starting to adjust to the day cycle again. It's by this point, you've already had a week, the better part of a week, getting used to, hey sun, hey stars, oh moon, all the normal trappings, and at about this time, it's starting to fit you into a nice rhythm. Although it's unlikely that Opie has seen much of the sun since it started rising, but wizards.
It's fucking hot out here, guys. This sucks.
You haven't gotten to the desert yet. Uh, it's looking like it's a couple of days worth of travel before the the kind of rolling grass hills start to turn a little more patchy and sparse as it starts to give way to desert.
For what it's worth, Zyman will be spending every bit of opportunity that we are not traveling, or at least I'm not flying, to read his book.
Noted. Oh my god, where is... Okay. God, I really need to get to work on some of these maps. So... Yep. No, well, huh. It's small enough that the icon is small enough that I can't move it. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you have successfully shown where you generally are. Good job. Fuck all of you people. Roll for Tarask, bitches.
Bring it. Let's go.
Oh my god. Yeah, no.
That wouldn't have been good.
Would not.
That one because we're being trolled.
Yeah, that's right. Just keep going.
I gotta
You can kill us right now, Quinn. Right now. Look at our rolls. You can murder us. You can restart this
Blame
entire
anyone
campaign.
but Finn.
Oh. So Arendir catches the gout and half dies. Can't take you people freaking anywhere.
As a heavier man that eats like a campground raccoon, I can tell you the gout is not a good thing. I'm kidding. I don't have gout.
I
I'm
don't.
heavier and eat like a campground raccoon, though.
That is one of the most unusual descriptions I have heard. But yeah. So the five of you are traveling on fairly uneventfully. Arendir, you're noticing more specifically when you're going through the forest, a lot of the wildlife seems to be returning to normal.
Sweet.
Uh, yeah, because as you were traveling along, the animals were freaked all the fuck out. But now it seems like they're calming down and getting getting their own lives straightened out. And let's see, it was about 5 days worth of travel. Oh god, no. Why?
Shh, it's just chatter.
I can't ignore that. So, you have about 5 days till you reach Sanctuary. As I'm not sure if there's anything that you want to accomplish in that time. I know that Zyman is reading.
Yes, and on that note, for what it's worth, if anyone wants to fly around on the broom and have fun, I would totally ride in the cart so I can spend more time reading, since I'm pretty sure by this point I'm running out of time to finish this 40.
Well, it's not running out of time. It's basically as you go.
Oh, I thought I had to be like within a week or something.
No. It's 40 hours over the course of a week. It's you have to at least take a week, and or 40 hours, whichever is kind of,
Well, still, for whatever it's worth, if anyone else wants to fly around on the broom, I would totally let them take a swing at it so I can spend more time reading.
Okay.
Reference.
Oh God.
Hi, Opie.
For people watching.
Oh my God. People going back through this going, what the fuck are these guys on?
Why is my drink
Don't
shaking?
tell anyone I'm really high.
Yeah. We're just saying for anyone in the future watching this, we play this game late at night. Most of us have worked already, so our brains are kind of fried. This is your disclaimer. I don't know, even I had to work today. Switched shifts with one of the other drivers.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, well, it means that I've got Sunday night off, and I'll actually have, kind of a weekend. So that'll be nice.
Nice. I worked today and then came home and laid on the couch and did nothing for 2 hours.
That's nice. I had to come home and scramble to put a game together. Because I don't know proper planning.
Jesus fuck, JR.
What even? You know what? I'm really, really glad that I can't get Discord to show up on here. Because, I mean, sometimes I'm glad, sometimes I'm really sad. Just full of all the Jurassic Park memes, and I'm pretty shocked that I haven't seen a Goldblum yet. So, thank you, Opie, for providing the link for people to. This is like time stamping our videos and documenting our crimes.
I thought the system supported GIF. I think it does on the map layer, not the chat layer. So,
Well, that's good for everybody else involved. Okay. So, it is about 3 days in where, for those who've never seen a rolling Sahara-style desert, it is desolate. But it also has a kind of beauty to it. The sunrises are as glorious as ever, and they transfix Rawl whenever they're happening. The sun going up, sun going down. Rawl has been sure to not miss it. And speaking of downtime activities, all of you are able to take full rests as Rawl is perfectly willing to hold watch throughout the night.
solid.
He doesn't sleep. You still have not seen him eat or drink a damn thing.
Interesting.
But yeah, considering you've got a reindeer able to create food, water, and good berries, I'm not having you worry about any of your supplies unless you have something specific that you want to be eating instead. So I will have a reindeer have one of his first level spells kind of for this journey taken off if we're doing that. And as I've noticed, Opie, you generally are casting your mage armor at the beginning of every day?
Yes.
Okay. Just little bits of things that I've noticed here for that, so, housekeeping.
Alright. Generally like to wait till after breakfast, let, a few hours go by and then throw it up.
Yeah. Essentially, is this you doing it as you travel?
You know what's even funnier? Render will go ahead and say, "Hey, Opie,
What's up, bud?
you remember that jar, right?
Oh yeah.
You know what? You know what I can do with that jar now?
Make it rain in the desert.
Damn straight.
Bless the rains down in Africa.
Exactly.
Son
What
of a
desert?
bitch.
What desert?
You do realize that's just within like 100 feet of you?
I don't care.
We can
Go
still
100.
travel there in a nice, cool breeze and rain.
This
That's
is
true.
true.
I mean, there's yeah.
With that, I won't even make you guys roll your survival checks for desert travel, because that is
That's a thing.
that is a thing. That is
Create
definite.
and destroy water. Gee.
I mean, it's good use of an item, so congratulations. Credit where it's due. That's good.
That is very good.
And another thing that the druid can do, purify food and drink. So if we come across shit we don't have 100% sure on, I got this.
Well, you're also pretty well stocked, because if you're doing what's it? Good berries, that's food and water for the day for
true.
everybody. So, a first level spell gone each day, you've got more than enough to carry that through.
Having a
Or you
druid
can put
around
a-
makes
Or you can put a berry in the
travel
jar.
a lot easier.
What are you going on about?
Said he could put the good berry in the jar and make it rain good berries.
No.
It wouldn't matter anyways because it's 24 hours. Even if I made them rain, it would be pointless because they only nourish you for a day anyways, and then they go ahead and disappear after 24 hours.
This is
And
true.
now if it was something else, then I would say maybe.
Damn it, I just found like the best thing. Only if it didn't have writing in it.
Well, that's horrifying. Okay, so just because you are you're all resting for an evening.
Oh God, it's a map. We're in trouble.
It is a map.
Hey, look, ancient ruin.
So along the course of your your journeys, there was one place that you had kind of pulled off, and there's a couple of it looks like to be old structures long since taken by the desert, but it does provide shelter from the winds.
There's nice chalk outlines of where we should put our sleeping bags.
Oh, holy shit! Yeah, that's a little overhang. So I'm guessing that's like interior space.
Well, then that's definitely where we should put our sleeping bags.
Yeah,
Looks
So
like there's
you-
a sword and a dead guy right there too.
looks like to be an old training dummy.
I'm going into my shelter. Screw you guys.
Yeah. There we go. We'll just put that over there. There you go. I didn't notice that
Come on.
before.
Come on, Aaron, dear, and I'll cuddle.
I don't
Oh.
sleep.
Opie offered to cuddle Arendir, not Zyman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm the big spoon, and it's just sending little spoons.
No, screw that. Rendir will just turn into a little puppy or something, so that when people go ahead and cuddle him, he's at least cute. It's not
Yeah, that makes it way better.
creepy.
Like,
We're we're
like
companion.
like corgi
See?
puppy, German Shepherd puppy. What are you thinking?
I don't know.
oh god, what is
How cute is it?
what is it? Is it a Shih Tzu Oba or whatever? What is Doge?
Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu, yeah. Arender turns
Like on
in.
a scale of pug to Shiba Inu, because pugs aren't fucking dogs; they're a genetic mistake.
Some
Like
of them
they're in
look just.
constant pain. They're constantly fucking suffocating, and nobody's had the fucking kindness to kill them all.
My favorite pug in all of existence, the Men in Black pug, is Frank.
I'm just saying that that pugs are so unfortunate looking. They're almost cute. It's like it's pity, really.
Funny as hell.
Okay, that being the case. So, yes, we're going to have people rolling out their perception.
Like everyone?
Yes.
That's about where I'd be.
Yeah, Rawl is not being a good lookout today.
Just gonna put that out there just in case too.
Dexterity saves, dude.
Yeah. So I'll
Still.
keep that in mind if you need to make a dex save.
Traps everywhere.
Fucking might as well be. Shit, man. I mean, seriously, the fuck, Rawl. You've got a +8 to your goddamn perception. Roll the goddamn 1.
Hilarious.
Nobody did. Well, okay, we got some averaging rolls here. Yeah, we're gonna chalk it up to danger sense at that point. So Kess, throughout the night, you're kind of snoring like a buzzsaw, I imagine. The delicate flower that you are.
Yay.
Yay, indeed. So, but you kind of snort awake because whereas everybody else kind of feels a little bit of a rumbling coming from Kess, you feel a rumbling. And you're kind of waking yourself up before from outside you kind of hear some unfortunate sounding sounds as the breaking of hard pan and the scattering of debris.
Tremors.
That's right.
Oh.
Think I didn't watch that movie.
I own all of them.
First one's the best one.
Agreed.
Of course. So yeah, you will be seeing the thing that happens here.
Interesting.
Cutscene.
Yeah, cutscene. Not quite, but so flying up from this debris, and you see that from kind of out where the dying firelight is. But you see this kind of monolithic group of just stone slats that takes on a vaguely humanoid form, scans the area, and kind of looks to almost lock eyes with you before you hear a low rumbling and the sliding of stone on and the slow as it starts to kind of advance on you.
I'll yell and get everyone up. We've got company. And yeah, don't damn it. Put that
What
out
were Really? Who's coming over?
Too busy snuggling Arendir. Deal with it.
It's all on you, Cass.
Oh my.
Why am I not
Like-
even surprised?
We're getting Shiva cuddles. Fuck off.
Yeah. Arendir is Doge. Nothing else matters in life.
Would you like initiative, sir?
I would, in fact.
Damn, my initiative sucks.
You still go before the earth elementals.
Well,
So, Kess will have given out the shout, and you people are kind of shocked awake by Kess shouting, what was this again?
We've got company.
Okay.
It's a good thing I changed my spells before the game started.
Yeah, buddy.
So, Opie, you're just kind of the fuck.
What? Who's coming over? Who's coming over? What? Oh, what's that sound? It's rock elementals. Fuck.
Big and uglies.
Alright. Half movement to stand up. Action to cast Fly on myself.
That makes sense.
Because, what the fuck, they're rocks. Maybe they can throw rocks at me? Maybe. I don't know. But I would rather be away from the ground if they're coming up out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I will fly, use the remainder half of my movement, which is now 60 with fly, so I'll get 30 feet, to get up and out of the overhang, trying not to hit my head on the way out.
Okay.
So that's my movement and my action, sir.
All right.
Oh god, where's Timothy?
Timothy is with the cart, not on the map.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to deal with that shit right now.
Fair.
And I also don't want to kill your mount just yet.
Also fair.
Okay, so Rawl just looks around, kind of, oh. Those came from the ground. There's one outside behind you. No, everyone can see this one, and I don't want to go and fight a giant rock elemental on my own just yet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Rawl will go hopping over down onto the ground as he kind of leaps out towards this elemental. You see kind of from he just kind of waves his hand at one point, and you see his sword just kind of look like it spring into his hand, and when he grips it, it begins to glow and kind of catch fire as he comes slamming down on this thing. But I don't think that's gonna do it. No.
that's not budget.
So yeah, he comes sliding in, it catches his attention, just as the sword is just kind of deflected off one of the, you know, shale plates, and just apparently he was spacing off. Zyman.
All right. I will spend half my movement getting up and walk to about there with the rest because that's all I can do. And throw some fire at that asshole.
Oh wow, okay.
Really good hit. Really shitty damage.
Even for firebolt. Okay. So that's
So am I prone or am I
you are up.
okay?
Okay. So you slap that thing. Guess.
I will go ahead and bolt over here, rage, and say hi.
You go and say hi. Yeah, you kind of hack at it a couple of times with your blade being deflected by these things' massive boulder, hands. That is some bad rolling to start off with you from
Right.
Arendia.
Arender would like to yell to Cass, though he doesn't isn't sure that he's going to understand him anyway, just due to the fact that he's raging already. That, earth elementals are kind of rocks. You may not exactly be very effective against them with that.
Yeah, you could still break a rock with an axe.
Would Arender know whether they are immune or resistant in any way to physical attacks?
You're not all that familiar with elementals, unfortunately. I mean, just offhand. You can go ahead and make an Arcana check and see.
Oh God, please.
Holy fuck, you manic son of a bitch. This is what I get for calling for checks. That is some superb rolling there.
Turning point.
It's Arendir. These being large and naturally animated rocks, they have the ability to go mostly unseen by traveling underneath the ground. They also they're highly resilient when it comes to damage, and being as they are not flesh and flesh and blood creatures, a lot of things that would affect the natural body's rhythm doesn't have any kind of effect on it. They are also very mean when angered.
Yeah, interesting. All right then. Okay. Would I happen to by chance know what they were weak against in any way? Maybe at all? Or...
You don't seem to recall any. You don't seem to recall any vulnerabilities, but they are rocks.
Gotcha. All right. Oh.
But you do know that they're resilient against most physical trauma.
All right. I assume we can only see this one, of course, that Cass is on.
Yeah, you can see that one, but you heard Rawl shout out that there was one behind you. And this area here is blocked off.
Gotcha. I figured as much.
Not for much longer when that thing burrows its way through.
Yeah, right. Okay. Randy will move next.
I already miss fighting people.
You had your time fighting people.
You know what? Actually, I saw. All right. Yeah, I'll move next to Simon.
Coming back in for
I
the
will-
snuggles.
You're still a Shibu, by the way.
God, no comment. Wait, I'm what?
You went to sleep as a Shibu. You're still a Shibu.
Oh, that's true. Well, where the fuck's my Shibu token then? Should
You
I
don't
switch
have a
back
Shi-
into the dog?
No, I'm. You know what? You know, I will put lol meme dog as a token later. But you are a Shibu. You can mark off one of your wild shapes.
Which means all of that he yelled out to you, Cass, was just.
Yep.
God,
Weirdly, Cass understands.
Not anymore. I don't. Wait. Do you have? You don't have speak with animal anymore, do you?
yeah, wild totem still, because it's still a totem branch.
Okay.
Funny as shit. That's funny. But okay, fuck the Shibu shit. I'm no longer Shibu.
You are still.
No, you're Shibu. Embrace the Shibu.
No, I will not. I will not fight as a Shibu. It won't
Oh.
work.
I think you're at a high enough level that you're considered magic damage as a Shibu.
You may be able to pull it down to the ground.
I might get it to kneel and pet me, but that's about it.
That's it. That's your defense.
Alright.
What would it have to
Right.
roll to resist petting a Shiva?
It's a will save, certainly.
Oh,
Like,
God.
pretty high,
Holy crap.
There we go.
Sheba.
There's gonna be your Shibu token.
Shibu.
I like the blood spray.
What? The blood spray? It's not a
No,
blood.
I posted it in Discord. Check it out.
Oh God, what is? Fuck. That is happiness. Okay, so you're no longer Shibu, but Shibu is just kind of hanging out here because
That's fine.
I'll have to figure out what the hell this CR on a Shibu is.
Let's just assume it's like a quarter.
It's like a riding dog.
Not to
Small as hell, isn't
nitpick,
it?
but it's Shiba.
Shiba.
Inu.
Shiba. It's a Shibu because it's a
Yeah,
reindeer.
Shiba, Shibu. There you go.
So it's the Shiba from Cebu.
Well, if we say Shibu, which is the combination of the two, Shiba Inu, then it sounds like we actually have the stupid fucking dogs. Oh shit, that slipped. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I'm totally a dog person. I've so many dogs.
Maximum dog. Okay. So yeah, it's a free action to drop wild form.
Alright. Yeah, okay. Considering what we're up against, I'm going on the offensive, especially since Cass is right in its wave. Lol, bugs all over again.
All right. So you're doing what now?
Bam.
Okay.
We're gonna nail that fucker.
Well, it certainly doesn't dodge the lightning strike.
Make the big thing made out of rock make dex saves. I like this plan.
Yeah, it's almost like they spent some time learning from fighting you.
How do you kill Simon? Make him dance.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Pretty sure Lilith knows that too.
Yeah.
Simon dancing.
Okay, so the earth elementals get to go. Kess, you had you were going ham as you do, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it slams
Wow.
into you for a grand total of 15
Wow.
damage, as it just and you're like you're stunned there for a moment, going like, because that was
It's on.
because you recognize that should have hurt a lot more. And on the other hand here, we're just gonna put one of those out, and yeah, Opie, you hear this grumbling, like almost this, oh yeah, as this wall gets kind of pushed in, and suddenly Earth Elemental.
Like, I'm up and out of there, right? I'm flying. I am not in there.
Oh, that's right. You're on top of the structure,
You're like, hi, I'm Opie.
At least very lightly on top of the structure yet.
which is good because it starts crumbling down.
Oh, good.
And Zyman,
Yes.
give me a deck save if you would, please.
Okay. Ha!
You manic sons of bitches! What the fuck?
Dude, what is this?
You hear this thing come bursting through with this gravelly Kool-Aid man style rhetoric, and as the ceiling here just starts collapsing and falling, and you're like, "Holy shit!"
Does he fling a piece of it back at the thing?
No, but you manage to avoid some of the rubble coming down from the ceiling.
He's got a double 20.
Yeah, no, he's just the fuck out of that.
The Shibu cuddles must have done it.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
I am invincible.
He got advantage due to puppy. Yeah, that's Opie's turn now.
Oh boy, this thing knocked down a building right below me, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's standing out of the rubble fine now, but
All right. Opie's gonna call down and say, "Hey, who wants to be real big and scary?"
Ooh.
Like bigger and
rage-
scarier.
A raging dinosaur? Okay.
that's horrifying.
All right. Well, Kess waves his arm up there because he's raging and angry and knows a good thing when he hears it. I will fly down, drop concentration on fly, and begin concentrating on polymorph. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. And I'm going to make Kess. Can we give him access to the Opiosaurus Rex token?
Oh god, yes, we can.
Holy god.
With damage reduction and everything.
This is kind of terrifying already. I'm just gonna say. Oh,
That was
polymorphs.
a build I read about before. A bear totem barbarian mixed with druid. Because of the effective hit point pools is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Kess, you should be able to have access to
Where would that be?
a fucking dinosaur.
Look under party support, under Opicrio Turin, you should see a polymorphs section.
Nice character sheet. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and drag him out, man.
Okay. Ooh.
Obisaurus.
All right.
So we're just gonna put Kess over here. So what? Wait, is the Opisaur? It is a huge beast. Yeah, 10 by 10 sounds about right. They're just 15 feet tall. Okay, so we've got a giant, really angry dinosaur.
Angrier than normal dinosaur. Nice.
That is kind of horrifying.
I am the worst person to turn into a dinosaur. Everyone else is a better fucking option. All
This
right.
is true.
Let's see. I had to fly over there and then cast a spell. Do I have any more movement? I'm no longer flying. Actually, no. There's a good place to be. I'm gonna.
All right, you good?
I'm good.
All right. Rawl sees a giant dinosaur. his arm kind of like flexes a little bit as he eyes it, but it's like later.
So we just draw nuts on the dinosaur.
That's the rubble underneath of it, I'm pretty sure, but I have
Yeah.
the same thought.
Yeah, that is its cloaca is opening in excitement.
I thought somebody was really creative.
Rawl, being no dummy, but he's kind of irritated nonetheless. Because he knows the fact that your shit is you changed your shit somehow, and Opie doesn't quite and Rawl doesn't quite like it, so he gets himself into better position. Which he will strike the creature at this point. Now D8, 14 plus 15, 29 points of damage as he slashes into this creature. Bringing it to Zymon's turn.
Okay. Well, I think the T-Rex and everybody else probably has that one under control. I'm going to go up here and harass the other one.
Protect the spirit of the Inu.
And I will do my super cool slashy shocky. Damn it.
Well,
Should have had advantage.
you should have. But that's still 15 points of damage.
Okay.
So there's that. Cass.
I will go ahead and make a bite.
All right.
And
Oh, don't forget you can do it recklessly.
yeah, a bite and a tail attack.
Okay. Well, that will hit on both occasions there.
Plus 2
Jeez.
for rage damage.
Yes, there's 4 additional points to all of that because it is a very angry dinosaur.
Rex. Awesome.
And what size is the creature?
Wants to eat it.
The creature, I believe, is a large.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if it's medium, it's grappled.
Let me double check. Yes, it is a large elemental. See, 58 divided by hit.
Kess needs to be a Rex all the time because he loves to grapple things.
Oh God. Let's just make sure the T-Rex has a luchador mask at this point.
Opie's just sitting there on the back of the T-Rex with the silver raven flag. And in this corner.
So you see the dinosaur bite at it and smack it with its tail, and it looks like it shrugs off a good chunk of that punishment.
As long as I connected with it, that's one of the things that matters.
Yep.
Cause Sentinel.
Well, that's only on your attack of opportunity. Does it lose its speed?
Yeah, but it has to attack me now.
No. It's just, if it doesn't, you get a reaction strike at it.
True. Okay.
Arendir. Now the problem is you can't strike that one that's down that's pincered right now without hitting another ally.
Yeah. Sadly. That other one is available though, I believe.
Yeah, you can angle it so that you wouldn't hit Zyman with a lightning bolt.
Cool. Yeah. I don't have to recast this thing, do I? I mean, like. I have to
Well,
click
it
again, but I don't have
yeah,
to
you have to.
actually, like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you only spend the one spell slot. It's just you're doing it for damage.
Alright, cool. 16. And boom.
Yeah, you smack it for 16 damage. Crashing down heat lightning on things. So Earth Elemental is definitely angry at the T-Rex and at Zyman, so we're going to go from the north. Zyman, you're getting smacked around-ish.
Mm.
That'd be one hit.
Nah, I'll shield it.
You'll shield it? Okay.
Attaboy.
Totally expected that shit.
Dino Boy is holy ouch. Well, no, it's because it's Reckless Dino. It's getting advantage, so. So that is 19 plus 15.
So
And
34 cut in half.
Resisted, yeah. Dino takes 17 points of bashing damage as it gets smacked around. Bringing it to Opikrio.
Oh boy. Well,
Oh, boy. Okay. I had a cutout moment, so I heard nothing of what you were planning.
Obi would just like to acid splash at the Earth Elemental in front of him.
Okay. And it takes 8 points of acid splish
Does it look
damage.
particularly vulnerable to acid, or is it just
Um,
seeming?
it seems to be as effective as you would anticipate it to be.
Gotcha. So it's not. He's not.
It's not. It
Shrieking
doesn't.
away.
No, it doesn't seem to be vulnerable to it.
Gotcha.
Though it is looking kind of rough right now, so it's showing its wear certainly. Anything else out of you?
No, I'm gonna save my bonus and my reaction, and moving would actually be dumb. So I'm good.
Okay. Rawl takes his shot at it. And yeah, 38 points of damage as he gets in behind this thing. And the cohesion to this creature is starting to come apart. Just the abuse that it's suffered, the boulders and stuff are rolling off of it, thumping into the ground as it's starting to lose some of its form. Zyman.
I will continue the slashy shocky because it's awesome. And shocky.
Well, you managed to connect on both for a grand total of 16 damage, so.
And that is all I got.
The spirit of puppers is in you. Kess.
I will go ahead and bite.
Yeah, you bite. that's that's what it required to do. You
Then
you
I'll
you,
save
you
my
bit it.
second feat. Then I will go ahead and take my 50 and walk around the building, stomp around the building, and 50 takes me to there. And then I will go ahead and tail attack that one.
Okay. As you smack it, it kind of stumbles. It doesn't look as hurt by it as you would like, but
Mm-hmm.
a reindeer.
Here we go again. Oh wait, there were.
No, you can still angle the bolt.
Oh, okay. I was like,
It's basically is if I recall correctly, it's like a 5 foot radius. So basically, it's 4 squares in conjoined. So it's a
gotcha.
2x2 square. If you've got a 2x2 square that you can not hit an ally,
Alright.
If I get hit, I'm immune to or resistant to it.
so it takes 15 points of damage from a lightning bolt. Doing anything else?
Mm, nah. I don't think I need to do anything else right now. If I see any other opportunities later, I will.
Okay.
Assume.
The Earth Elemental. Yeah, it's still going after Zyman. But you're too quick.
Does Opiosaurus get to bite it because it attacked somebody else?
Indeed, it does. And because of Reckless,
Which a T-Rex is always reckless.
kind of true. So, yeah, that would lead it to Opie.
Alright, I'm gonna cuddle on up with my Shiba Inu. There we go. And another acid splash at the dinosaur.
At the dinosaur?
Not the dinosaur, sorry. Element. Fuck it, I can hit the dinosaur too, I don't give a shit.
That's. Well, what did it ever do to you? Okay, so you splash at it. We're all just like, they're always so far away.
I know, right?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And yeah. So Rawl goes parkouring over the rubble, takes a hop up, just foot plants onto Dino Snout and kicks off to land across from the elemental and slash.
Yay, cool points.
Because he wanted to jump kick a dinosaur, and yeah. See, it's a 27 for 33.
I don't have that much of a problem with the dinosaur's damage per round. Rawl's doing that, and I mean he's matching one of the hits. It's just the dinosaur does it twice, which is
Yeah. And as he, kips off the face of the dinosaur, he, hitting into the back of it, jams the sword into what would essentially be its, like shoulder area, and wrenches it away as you see the thing kind of fall into pieces, inert on the ground. There's a moment then where he just looks up at the dinosaur and just kind of crouches a little low.
Opie goes, "God damn it, my bag was in there!" And he's pointing at the rubble. Kess, can you, like, move the rocks? Like, move them. I know you're a little bit smarter right now than you usually are, so move the rocks.
So, yeah. Polymorph is an hour or 10 minutes?
I think it's an hour. Let me double check.
It's like
That's
an
what it
hour
was when
or
we were
10
going to
minutes.
use it for travel.
1 hour.
1 hour, okay. Yeah, under your careful instruction, you can have the Kesosaurus Rex do some excavating.
Tonka trucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
The reindeer would like to point out that it has very small arms.
Yeah, it's nudging it with its head.
And a big tail. It's Beast Wars.
Pretty much.
Try to
Yes,
pull out
in
my,
disguise.
try to pull out my sleeping bag in my backpack and try to remake my bed somewhere nice, if anywhere nice still exists.
I mean, you don't have any place that's not open to the stars, but
Kestosaurus Rex will start stomping over here and point with his head. That looks like there's stairs over here. Don't know if it leads to anything.
it's all open.
No,
It's
okay.
it's rubble. Well, everybody looks pretty pleased with themselves. Eventually, the storm clouds that Rendir summoned begin to dissipate. Rawl takes a couple more swipes with his blade before just kind of like focusing on the bright flames just kind of flicker out on it, and then he just kind of flexes his hand and the blade just kind of like disappears.
That's a neat trick. It's been a while since we traveled. Like, ugh, I remember why I don't like it.
Rawr, rawr.
We still need him to clean up, right?
I mean, for a while, I don't know. I got my bag. Like, everybody got everything out of the rubble? Yeah?
A druid, I could just sleep on the sand. Druid
It-
not need bed.
You're a druid from the forest. This is getting everywhere, and it's kind of irritating.
It's in places where sand shouldn't be.
No, elves are sealed up tight, dude. Like, nothing gets in anywhere.
No comment.
That
at all.
is-
Except for other elves.
Dude, elves are probably the only thing that's created perfect suction, so...
Yeah, but elves can also
Mm.
detect secret doors.
Nice. That's
Wow.
12th edition callback. I love it.
That's nice. I like that.
Hey,
Good job. You made it.
Quinn, we're gonna be resting, right?
Yes.
That means I get to regain wild shapes and shit, right?
Yeah. Well, you're gonna essentially have a long rest at this point.
Alright, cool. So,
I'll tell
Shit.
Rawl that yes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
yeah, I will return back to Shibu. Shibu form.
Shibu form.
Cuddles!
Yep. Giant Shibu.
But yeah, I will tell Rawl that we probably don't need the dinosaur anymore if we got all our stuff out.
He looks like he kind of wants to, but there's like, no, because I might actually hurt Cass. As it goes stomping around for the rest of the hour, or until Opie decides to dismiss it.
I'll let Kess be a dinosaur for as long as he wants.
Starts throwing rubble around with his teeth. Big old rocks. Goes sailing around.
Okay.
Go terrorize a local village. Something.
There's no village to terrorize but this little place.
Hey.
Oh god.
Real quick, out of character, we could totally send in Cassosaurus Rex into a village, and then the adventurers can come in and be like, "Oh, we could take care of it for you, for a price."
Swindling people.
Like,
You're
I
like
wish
the-
we had gone full mercenary. That would have been great.
But you're like the worst one to pull that scheme with because you take half damage from everything.
Yeah,
Opie
130.
could do it himself because he could always just dismiss this shit whenever he
Yeah, but Opie can also dismiss it too, at any time.
Well, that's
But
what I said.
He missed it.
Oh no, I meant it. Opie dismiss it on me, because you were saying Opie could do it.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that. It's bad business. You want to be able to drive it off into a place where you can dismiss the thing out of sight.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up the con. There's a reason why the Sean Connery dragon always died in a lake.
But yeah, 136 hit points times 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very very tanky dino.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can't be something we can pull out all the time.
No, well, it's all
Maybe
contextual, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, you will all get your rests.
Rawr.
Yay, rest.
Yes, indeed, rar rests. And that is where we will close things off for the evening. I know we got people, including myself, who need to be up and doing things in the morning, so
Not bad.
we'll try and be a little more reasonable about our time if we can.
Man, I want to. From now on, Kess is only going to pull out the Tyrannosaurus Rex instead of his character token.
It's just as you do now, huh?
Fuck you! I want to be a dinosaur.
I mean, there's really no disadvantage. It's not like it's a strength loss for Kess.
Right. Like, technically, casting on him just makes it potentially last longer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Plus, then I'm also resistant to magic damage and everything.
Yeah.
And then also any acid, poison, or anything like that because I'm also a dwarf.
Yeah. You are a good polymorph candidate. There is no question about that.
Mhm.
Like, him and Rawl, because Rawl still might get sneak attack.
Rawl would get skirmish.
Oh,
Yes.
Sneak attack T-Rex.
Surprise!
I'm hunting raw
Ev-
snap.
I'm hunting everything.
Would you look at that? I just lost the upper half of my torso. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that attack.
That's almost as bad as the freaking paladin as a dinosaur. And smite damage.
No. By far the paladin is the worst because of the smite damage. It's not as sustainable as Rawl or Kess, but if you're just going for short impact, it's frightening.
What was that? Triceratops with a charge did extra damage if you got a charge off.
Oh god, Triceratops charging smite. For when there's not enough FU in your life.
And the fucked up thing is I couldn't really use dinosaur on anybody but Kess's team.
Yeah, that's fair.
So So yeah, that shit's contextual, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was delightful, and yeah, next week we are venturing further in and towards our destination of the desert city in the Golden Sands Sanctuary.
Goddamn fucking rock monsters.